Jones, and let's start with the top free agent available right now, Stephon Gilmore, Defensive Player of the Year just 3 years ago, but he's entering his age 32 season. Visited the Colts recently. What's the latest on him?
Yeah, listen, Indianapolis is certainly interested in Stephon Gilmore when you look at how they are loading up, when you consider how they fell short last season with 7 Pro Bowlers, and obviously getting Matt Ryan, they believe that they are ready to win right now and certainly win that division there in the AFC South. I saw the list there, Stephon Gilmore 1, Tyrann Mathieu 2. I might flip that, because if you look at last season for Stephon Gilmore, he's a guy who played in 8 games but really only started in 3. He had 2 interceptions, but those were on 2 poorly thrown balls from Mac Jones and Matt Ryan, respectively. He didn't have any pass breakups last season. He played fewer than 300 snaps last season for the Carolina Panthers, and so yeah, the price is going to have to be right here for Indianapolis, but they need a corner. Make no mistake about it. They dealt Rock Ya-Sin, they re-signed Marvel Tell, they signed Tony Brown and Brandon Faison, but they decided not to bring back Xavier Rhodes, at least not yet. So would I be surprised if the Colts and Stephon Gilmore ultimately struck a deal? No, I would not. It makes a lot of sense. I just, you mentioned the 32 years old. You mentioned Defensive Player of the Year a few years ago. He battled that quad injury. I just didn't see the flashes of that Defensive Player of the Year last season, like I think the Carolina Panthers were certainly hoping for when they traded for him.
Well, let's go to the Honey Badger then, because he's about 2 years younger. In 2 of his 3 years with the Chiefs, he was a first-team All-Pro. What's the latest on his free agent status?
Yeah, it's going to be up to Badger about what he ultimately wants, because if he wanted to sign somewhere for less money right now, he probably could. There aren't that many teams that need a safety, and there are fewer teams that I believe Badger would want to go to that actually need a safety. You can go ahead and cross Houston off the list. Been there, done that. Not interested in going back to the Texans. You can cross off the Detroit Lions from the list. I don't believe Washington really has the money to afford Tyrann Mathieu. And so you're looking at a Philadelphia, a Pittsburgh could always sign him to what equates to a 1-year deal with a signing bonus, even if it is a technical 2-year deal. New Orleans is always going to be in the mix for the LSU prospect. I know there's a report out there about him joining the Rams because they don't care about spending cash and the signing bonus. And it would be a very low cap number, of course. This is a guy, he still has it. He can still play. He's 29 years old. He's going to be 30 next month, so he'll be 30 in this season. But 3 fumble recoveries and 3 interceptions. He had a couple of pass breakups last season and only allowed 1 touchdown. That was in the month of September. So you deal a little bit with the missed tackles with him that have started to creep up a little bit the last couple of years. That's okay. I think he ultimately, now that he has tasted what it's like to be with a true contender in Kansas City for those years, I very much can see him land with a contender. It's just a matter for him of, do you want to sign with that team before the draft or after the draft, when that team may have already made their move for a young, cheaper guy, and then your options begin to dry up just a little bit. So it's going to be up to him and his representation on when they want to make that move. But look for a New Orleans, look for a Pittsburgh, a Philly, and maybe even a Rams.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.